What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and we're back for another Team Fortress 2 class guide. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Demoman and the Demoman as a general class and the setup, and just some basic tips for beginners. Like with all my other guides, these are beginner guides. I'm not a seasoned player that has 10,000 hours or anything crazy in competitive mode. I can't give any of you intermediate players any pro tips, so these are mainly just to help the casual player like me who has maybe a few hundred hours in the game or 100 hours, or anyone who's a beginner or just starting out, or just anyone that's coming back to TF2. So without further ado, let's jump into the tips. So first of all, the Demoman as a class has 150 base health. If you actually have the medic's overheal on the class, you'll have 350 HP. Now, they are pretty tanky. They can take a lot more of a beating than most of the other classes just due to the health. So for an example, if you're playing a spy, you're really squishy, but a Demoman along with a heavy is one of the kind of tankier classes on the game, I guess. And as you can see, we do have a spy right there, so I'm just going to hit him directly, which is something we're going to be discussing later. Now, the gameplay in the background admittedly is not going to be great because I am doing this guide as a commentary while I'm talking, and I do really need to focus on these points. So you're not going to see me getting any crazy kills or anything, but I am going to be trying to push across these points. So you are semi-overpowered as a Demoman. They are one of the stronger classes in my opinion. They are one of the more annoying classes along with Pyro, again in my opinion, and they're pretty mobile. That's another bonus of them. So there's two class setups you can actually run whilst playing Demoman. The first one is melee. As you can see, I have the Headless Horseman's head taker right here, and I have the charging targe. Now, you can play melee or you can play ranged, or you can kind of play a little bit of both, because obviously right here, as you can see, I do have a nade launcher as well. So I'm using a nade launcher and I'm also using a melee weapon. So you can kind of use both, but most people will take two playstyles. So obviously the melee, you're going to want to use a shield with a melee weapon. So for example, the charging targe, which is the main shield or the original shield, and the Scotsman's skull cutter. Now, these give you crits on a charge, or at least the shield does, and I'm using two items which are slightly different. So I'm using the Tide Turner. You won't be able to see them behind my camera, but I'll give you a quick description. So I'm using the Tide Turner, which has 15% fire damage, we're going to discuss that later, and melee kills refill 75% of the charge meter. So taking damage while the shield is charging reduces remaining charge time. This is a really good shield. And also I'm using the Headless Horseman's head taker. Now this is basically the same as the Scotsman's skull cutter, so I don't really need to go too into it. It is an epic item, or a purple item I guess, so this is obviously from the Halloween event. Nothing too special about it, it just looks visually appealing, but that is my setup. But you can also use the Scotsman's skull cutter and also a charging target alternatively. It's kind of the same as it be. And then also you can use a range class setup, so you can use sticky bombs for this and the nade launcher to take out enemies and kind of jump across the map if you want to be mobile. You can do this with Demoman, kind of in the terms or in the fashion of rocket jumping, so it's kind of a similar thing. You can kind of use this just to be mobile. As you can see there, those guys were obviously trolling, but you can see that I kind of hit them all at once. So the nade launcher is really good to take out groups of people, especially when they're clumped together, and all of those guys took exactly the same damage. They all took 50 HP down, so it's good for area of effect damage, and it's really good to take out pushing people, which we'll cover later. So the next thing is the weapons are super useful as a role to destroy sentries and engineer equipment. So when people have big NG setups, they have all those sentries and machines set up, it's really nice just to use the Demoman's nades or sticky bomb launchers just to instantly take out those machines, because obviously the sentries are the most annoying part of a push. If you're pushing a base or an advancement, sometimes they're the only line of defense when you're trying to push it. Obviously when playing Demoman, it's really easy just to push them all and just shoot them all at once and destroy that whole row of machines. Now sticky bombs can be placed in traps or outside spawn points, for an example, to surprise players. So if there's a spawn zone, for an example this door, you could place them out here and then surprise someone, because not everybody's always looking at the ground, which is super nice. And they can also be used as minefields to protect engineer buildings. Obviously if you have engineers on your team and they have buildings, you want to protect them from spies sapping them. then you can also use the bombs for that reason. And also you can also just place down the sticky bombs just to hold down points, because obviously when people are going for capture points, engineers aren't always the first or last line of defense. You can be useful in that situation as well, so you can use them for that reason, which is really nice. And then the last thing is actually using the sticky bombs to play aggressive against medics to eliminate them as the key target, because like we say on basically every other class guide, the medic's one of the more crucial targets you want to take out literally as any class, because they're going to be healing all the squishies and also healing the tanky characters such as the heavy, so you want to take them out in a push. So the charging charge is a great gap closer. As you can see, I got really close to that enemy. Like I said, don't expect any quality gameplay because I am focusing more on the commentary than showing you off the tips. You can take these tips at face value if you like, you can try them out for yourself, and I guarantee they will be successful even if you're not seeing them on the screen, because it's kind of hard to multitask and concentrate right now and kind of show you them in effect while I explain them. The charging charge is really good for a gap closer. As you can see, that pyro air pushed me off. That was another tip which I showed you in my pyro guide. So the charging charge can gap close. It helps you chase down low health enemies, and it grants charge crit on the first hit. So for an example, when you charge, my weapon goes red, that means that I've been granted a free crit. So the first hit or after the crit runs out will be a critical hit. So once you charge and hit an enemy, it's a critical hit. As you can see, I literally just one-shot that dude in the back because I got a crit on him, and it's super useful and quite powerful. Also, another reason why you could use the charging charge is just basically because the fact that you can use it to fly over ramps really quickly. If you are on a map, like a custom map that has ramps or stairs on, you can just use it to fly up the ramps or stairs and go real quick into the air, which is really nice. So for an example, this isn't really the best feature to show you, but you can see that I just flew straight off the ramp, and it kind of allowed me to move across the map a lot more quickly and more effectively. The charging charge and also this tide turner shield that I've got, they're all the same basically in terms of what they give you. What they do is they actually give you increased fire protection for one, which is super useful. This is really good against pyros, because pyros are one of the worst matchups to go against for literally any class on this game, and it also gives you increased protection against explosives. Now this is useful when you're going against enemy soldiers or alternatively enemy demo men, because you know you're always going to get that point where you're going to be fighting the same class, and it just comes to the section where you kind of got to decide you're both the same class and it's just between who's the better demo man or who's in the better situation, and having that increased explosive damage can be really useful. So the next thing is the sticky bomb launcher. So I'm actually going to switch to the sticky bomb launcher just to kind of show it you. I'm going to be covering the basic sticky bomb launcher in this video, not any of the fancy versions, but basically the sticky bomb launcher does the highest burst damage in the whole game. It can take out full squads or players pushing points, which can be super useful like we kind of lightly covered on earlier, and it can easily take down entire engineer setups. Now I did mention this earlier, but this is basically why it's so useful. As you can see, I kind of knocked up that dude. You can take out a whole engineer setup, so if there's obviously engineers on a point, if they're a good engineer, they'll have great placement on the machine, so it'll make it harder to take out. But obviously if the noobs, or if you're just good at placement of your bombs, you can use them to take out whole engineer setups, which is super useful, and it can take down a great defense and increase the pushing power, which is what you want when you're on the offensive team on a map like Dust Bowl or something. And they can also deter pushing power because you can place them on points or place them around an engineer setup on the ally team to actually take down attackers as well. So there's multiple reasons you can use the sticky bomb launcher, and there's multiple reasons why it's good, and also you can launch yourself in air as well like soldiers can. So mostly just an all-round good weapon. Now the Nade launcher, which we were originally using, which is this thing right here, can one-shot people instantly on direct impact. So if you shoot someone who's squishy like a scout or a spy or even a sniper, close range, and you get a direct hit on them, or even if it doesn't have to be a crit, but even if it is a crit, usually it's going to be a one-shot hit. So it's good to spam spawn or teams pushing like I said before, and it explodes fast and it requires no manual detonation, which obviously the sticky bomb launcher does. So the Nade launcher is just basically nearly instant, so it's more useful for close range targets obviously, and more spontaneous kills. And you can also use it to spam bombs or rain down bombs over target groups. So if there was a point over here and I got a vantage point, I could just keep spamming all these bombs over, and eventually they'll land and all explode at the same time and take out people really quickly, especially if you've got good targeting or if you've placed yourself in a good vantage point. Now we're going to move on to class prioritization and class matchups. We covered these mainly in the sniper videos. Some classes we don't really need to cover this in the guide, but I thought this would be quite useful covering it. So classes, so scouts at close range, super deadly. Unless you can hit them with a direct bomb, scouts are just going to run all around you, they're going to kite you, and they're just going to shoot 2 or 3 shots in your face, usually just kill you instantly if they've got a good aim, or just shoot you a few times and run off, and you'll be super low by that point. So they're really annoying classes to go up against. Then we have pyros. Never get close range to pyros. I should never stress that enough. Even if it doesn't really matter which class you are, pyros are always deadly close range. And then versing other demo men, like I said before, it always comes down to the fact that you just need to kite them and avoid the bombs, because what would you do if you were facing yourself? You would just kite yourself and you try and avoid the bombs, right? Because basically you're doing the exact same thing to them, but you're playing the same class as them. You kind of got to use the same strategies that you think that they'd use against you. Engineers, they can do good close range damage with a shotgun, for example, but they're not going to be really good, especially if they're not close to their machines. They're not really going to do anything to you. A direct shot will just 1 or 2 shot them, and also if they go away from the machines, then they're not exactly going to be a good NG, let's be honest. So that's a fact. And medics and snipers, super easy close range targets. For an example, snipers can be deadly long range though. You want to watch out for snipers long range, because obviously long range snipers, if they've got a good aim, they're just going to hit a fully charged body shot, or even hit a headshot on you and one shot you, which can be really deadly. So the last class, which I will actually cover though, is spies. A matchup against a spy, usually easy, as long as you don't let a spy catch you off guard or take you out in a really bad position and backstab you. They're literally just going to be useless. Spies, you should never have to worry about them. As a demo man, spies are going to be really useless against you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this class guide. That was my class guide on Demoman. I hope it really helped you. So if you want to see more class guides, I have a class guide on every single Team Fortress 2 class, and I have tutorials coming up on literally every single topic. How to rocket jump, how to use modded maps, how to download skins, so many different things which you guys should be interested in if you're part of the TF2 community. Now my main style of videos is challenge videos, and I do vlogs as well, but mainly I do gaming on this channel. I do videos on Battle Royale games like Realm Royale and H1Z1 and things like that, so if that interests you too, then definitely do subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on this video if it helps you too, and also share it to anyone you know who might want to play the Demoman on TF2, because it really does help share the videos, and obviously it's free information, so me offering free information and you just subscribing and liking back, it's really simple, it costs you nothing, it's free, and it's kind of just a useful exchange. It shows me that you appreciated the video, and like I said, I don't really get anything for giving away this free information, so just a subscribe and the respect from you guys in the comment section below really helps, and I really super appreciate it. So if you want to enter the giveaway, you can get a chance to get a free game this month. We are giving away the Lego Hobbit game, so if that interests you as well, do go into the description below and jump down into the comment section below and have a chance to be entered to win it. So thanks for watching guys, like I said, super appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.